What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, former unified Mexican heavyweight world champion superstar boxer Andy Ruiz Jr. will be making his highly anticipated ring return April 24th, headlining a pay-per-view card. The last time we saw Andy Ruiz Jr., he lost a unanimous decision to now two-time unified heavyweight world champion British superstar boxer Anthony Joshua. He upset, and one of the biggest upsets in the history of sport of boxing, when he upset Anthony Joshua June 1st of 2019, when he dropped Anthony Joshua 4 times and ultimately stopped him at Madison Square Garden. With that said, we saw him in the ring December 7th, 2019 against Anthony Joshua in the rematch, and he lost a unanimous decision victory to Anthony Joshua, and he came in extremely out of shape. He admitted that he had not trained a bit. He wasn't focused. He was just enjoying his victory over Anthony Joshua. He wasn't prepared for the rematch, and he lost. It showed, okay? He got on the scales. He was nearly 300 pounds. He completely looked just like what he said. He didn't take it serious. He wasn't focused, and he didn't assert himself, okay? He ended up parting ways with his longtime trainer, Manny Robles. Now he's since now partnered with, Canelo Alvarez, 4th Division World Champion, Unified WBC, WBA, Super Middleweight World Champion, Superstar Boxer, his trainer and his camp, okay? He trains with Canelo Alvarez and Eddie Reynoso. So he's making his ring return now with a new trainer in Eddie Reynoso, and it will be against a former Mexican heavyweight superstar title contender who fought for a world champion multiple times, but he just was unable to secure a victory and become the first Mexican heavyweight world champion in Chris Arreola. Okay, Chris Arriola, he competed for the heavyweight world title a few times, but he came up short against Bermane against Klitschko. And he was a superstar. He's 38 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw, 33 wins by way of knockout. He was knocked out 3 times in his career. He stands at 6'3" with a 70-inch arm reach. Last time we saw him in the ring was 2019, August of 2019, when he took on Adam Kalnaki, and he lost a unanimous decision victory to Adam Kalnaki in a very entertaining fight, okay? But Chris Arriola, he was stopped by Deontay Wilder. A heavyweight opportunity for a world title. He was stopped in that fight. He lost TKO victory to Bermane. He fought Bermane twice. He lost the first one unanimous decision. Second one TKO loss. He lost to Thomas Adamick in the world title opportunity, and he lost to Vitaly Klitschko in the world title opportunity. So he's been around the block a few times. He was considered in his time one of the best heavyweights in the sport of boxing. He's now 39 years of age. He actually will be 40 years of age March 5th. So this Friday coming up, he'll be 40 years of age. So obviously he's an underdog in this situation. He was chosen to be, exciting fight, to put up an exciting fight. Obviously, both being superstars in Mexico, it makes sense. And that's what they're looking to do. Cinco de Mayo weekend falls on, it's obviously May 5th, but it falls on a Wednesday. So they're actually going to be fighting, I believe, that Saturday before Cinco de Mayo weekend, or 2 weekends before. But Andy Ruiz, he is 31 years of age, so he's 9 years younger than Chris Arriola. He stands at 6'2". And obviously, he was a world champion. He created history, okay? Becoming the first Mexican heavyweight world champion in history of sport of boxing. He has 33 wins, 2 losses, 22 wins by way of knockout. What is interesting about this entire equation is that this is going to be a pay-per-view fight. This is going to be a pay-per-view fight, and I believe that is a grave mistake. Unless this is planned to be the undercard or a co-main event on the pay-per-view card, this is not a main event headline pay-per-view card, okay? I believe this is a huge mistake on the part of the PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, to put this on Fox pay-per-view. It's just not a pay-per-view card, okay? Andy Ruiz has been out the ring for 2 years. Chris Arriola has never been a world champion. He's fought for a world champion, but he's never was victorious. He's 40 years old. He's seen as far past his prime. So I believe that they're making a huge mistake putting him on, on pay-per-view. It's going to be 2 weeks prior to, it's the last Saturday in April. So Cinco de Mayo will be 2 weeks after, this fight. So obviously they're trying to look to capture, that fan base, in that event. But again, this is not a pay-per-view headline. Okay, this is a huge mistake to put this fight on pay-per-view, unless, like I stated, the main event plans to be another fight. If this is the co-main event, to maybe Errol Spence Jr. makes a ring return against Yordenis Ugas, okay, April 24th in a unification bout in Texas, okay, at AT&T Stadium. That makes sense for this to be the co-main event. If that's the case, that would be Errol Spence is the undefeated, unified WBC, IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer, and against Yordenis Ugas. Yordenis Ugas is the WBA welterweight world champion. So that makes sense. If that's the headline, and this is the co-main event in Texas, got a huge fan base. You can have fans in attendance. Then that makes sense. Okay. Last time we saw Errol Spence in the ring was December 5th when he took on 2-division world champion superstar boxer Danny Garcia. So maybe Errol Spence is making his ring return in April. But this being the headline and the main event on a pay-per-view card is not going to do well. Andy Ruiz Jr., yes, he's a superstar within the sport of boxing, but a lot of fans have lost confidence in him. They lost faith in him. Most fans are not going to, they don't know what to expect, okay? Now he's shown pictures that he's lost. He's going through a dramatic weight loss. He's with Canelo Alvarez, Ryan Garcia, Oscar Valdez, and Eddie Reynoso ultimately as a new trainer. But that we still have to see what he's going to look like. And again, Chris Arriola has never been a world champion. He's 40 years old. He's seen as far past his prime. He's been stopped numerous of times in his career. You're not expecting much out of Chris Arriola. Yes, it's an action-packed fight, but main event on pay-per-view? No, this is a Fox headline card, okay? It actually should be on Showtime on a Saturday, Saturday night on Showtime. But if it's going to be on Fox, it needs not to be on pay-per-view. This is going to not be a success unless, again, you put this in Texas. It's a huge Mexican fan base in Texas. You got Chris Arriola, Andy Ruiz Jr. That makes sense. You put Errol Spence as the main event against Yordenis Ugas. It will sell. But to put this as his own card on pay-per-view, it's not going to be a success, okay? You will have to literally stack the undercard with nothing but, main event type fights to sell this as a pay-per-view event. I believe this is a grave mistake on the part of the PBC to put this on pay-per-view. With that said, I'm expecting Andy Ruiz Jr. to dominate Chris Arriola. His skill set, his hand speed is all wrong for Chris Arriola. Chris Arriola has never been known for his defense. Andy Ruiz, when he's on his A game, has very fast hands. He has a lot of power. He's very accurate, he's very technical. So I believe that he would dominate Chris Arriola in an exciting fight and get the stoppage victory over Chris Arriola. But Chris Arriola is not going to go out, without swinging, okay? It's going to be a tough out. He's a tough guy. And you look at his fight with Adam Karnacki. Adam Karnacki was hitting him with big, clean punches, and yet he weathered the storm and made it to the 12th round. And he himself was returning big, clean punches on Adam Karnacki. It's just Adam Karnacki is younger. He's more, durable. His chin, he hasn't been in as many big fights and tough fights as Chris Arriola. Chris Arriola was stopped by Vitaly Klitschko, Deontay Wilder, Bernays Stavern. The list goes on. He's been in a lot of big, tough fights, okay? So he's essentially, worn, okay? So expect an exciting fight. But a pay-per-view fight, this is not a pay-per-view fight. It's a comeback fight, and there's going to be a lot of anticipation to see Andy Ruiz come back, a lot of excitement. But as a pay-per-view headline card, it's not that, okay? So like I said, unless they absolutely stack the undercard, and with co-main event, with main event type talent on the undercard, it's not going to be a success. I'm highly surprised that this is a pay-per-view fight. But I'm excited to see Andy Ruiz Jr. make his ring return. It's going to be an exciting fight, and the future is going to be bright. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.